Oh no, now.
There you go. Hello and welcome to the 3InMidfield podcast, the podcast where three friends who are the dreams to be professional footballers dashed away as children when they all discover food, have their say on the Premier League. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Kojo, the ever-present Coach Kojo, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm happy that my team actually collected 3 points this weekend, so I can go forward for the rest of the week feeling good. So yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. How you doing?
Well, on that regard, I'd say I'm doing all right, to be honest. No, but then again, we move. That's what Arsenal do right now, to be honest with you. We are joined again by Yannicka. How you doing?
You're on mute.
You're on mute. Let's do that again. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
And first time, Maya, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good as well. 3 points at the weekend. Can't complain. Yeah, happy days.
Happy days.
Yeah. 2 people got 3 points. So others can't really relate right now. Crazy.
Disgraceful. But then again, you're a Tottenham fan, yeah?
Big Tottenham fan, yeah. Sorry.
This guy finds Tottenham fans all over the place. He rarely finds Arsenal fans. But then again, we're hard to find. We don't want to show our faces. Let's start at the we're going to do a very quick one because Coach wants to catch the football highlights. Wants to catch Manchester United. Wants to see Fernandes score a hat trick. So there we go. We'll start on Saturday. The big game: Tottenham 2, Manchester City 0. What else to say? What can we say about that game, man? It was pretty much over 5 minutes in when Heung-min Son scored. Just an easy goal. It was ridiculous how easy that was. When that goal went in, did you believe that the game was over, any of you, or did you think that Man City could crawl back into the game?
I think normally I would say when you can't really draw us out of the game. It used to be, you'd have to score 3 against us to beat us. But I think recently, like this season and the end of last season, it seems to be if we concede first, we don't look like we can win the game, which is crazy for us because we used to score a lot of goals, but recently we've just not been scoring goals. So if someone scores 1, the best we're going to get is a draw, which is poor from us. So yeah, kind of like I didn't feel like it was over because, in terms of the game, we didn't actually play really badly. It was just, we just can't, for some reason, we cannot hit the back of the net. So that's our main issue. So when Jose set up the way he set up, that's fine. If I was playing against City, I'd be setting up the same way. But I think City need to do better going forward because it's poor. And in terms of defence, we tend to concede with the first shot against us. So we also need to improve with that. But yeah, I think it's a good time for Tottenham to play City right now because we just don't look ourselves right now.
Maya, is that taking away anything from the way Spurs played, or was it a Mourinho masterclass?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of both. I certainly didn't think the game was over, but then I'm a really strong advocate on an early goal means nothing. It really means nothing, in my opinion. I mean, just look at that goal that Manchester United scored against us in the first 5 minutes, and how did that end? I'm sorry to bring it up, but so yeah, there's still, there was still 87 minutes left to play after Son scored, and City probably could have. I mean, I think they registered 5 shots on target. Obviously, that's not great from 22 overall shots, but it was still 5 opportunities to score. So yeah, I wasn't hugely comfortable really until we got our second, but I can't take away from the way that Jose Mourinho set Tottenham up, and he had a game plan and he executed it perfectly, I think. I think it's just, like you said, a Mourinho masterclass.
Why did City give Harry Kane so much space? It seemed like a ludicrous idea to give a man with 9 assists.
We always do. I don't know what it is about. Son doesn't even have to look. He's scoring against us. He'd probably score if he played a minute. he's so good against us. You know, I do really like Son. Obviously, Kane is Harry Kane, but Son he's dangerous, especially against us. So, yeah, I think the good thing about Spurs for them, but obviously bad for us, is they're very clinical. Well, they seem to be very clinical every time I watch them. So, and Harry Kane this season is even better than he was last season. So, you know, he's just everywhere on the pitch. And I think with City, we kind of we should have expected it because he's been playing like that kind of most of the season. But I think City probably didn't think he would play like that. So maybe that's why we got a bit more exposed. But yeah, he was kind of dragging players away, you know, to give space to Son, which obviously we struggled with. So, yeah.
Do you want to speak about Kane? Yeah, is
Rodri has to do more, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think usually you'd obviously find with Harry Kane being a striker that he would have been the centre halves problem. And don't get me wrong, there were occasions where Ruben Dias didn't do enough, but because we are now seeing him play so deeper, the responsibility was passed on to Rodri a bit more. And I watched some of the highlights back, and he's the space that he gave him. You can't do that to Harry Kane in the form that he's in. So for me, Rodri was a big part in the way that City lost that game.
Do you want to speak about Kane? He's done this. He's got a history of doing this. Obviously, he's done it against us before. I'm not going to really get into that. I'd rather get into the time he done it against Arsenal when they beat Arsenal 2-1 at the Emirates. When they played through Dele Alli. That's more of the game I want to talk about. But that's the problem with him is because he can create, because he can score from distance, because he can win free kicks, because he can score set pieces. You're like, really and truly, what is the weakness to this guy's game apart from not being very, very fast? You know what I mean? Like he has so much to his game. So if you have someone like Son or back then Dele Alli or maybe I don't know Lucas Moura or Bergwijn or now Gareth Bale making runs past him and past the defense, he's got the ability to find them. If you don't close him down, he can shoot from range. If you let them drop back a little bit and do 1-2, he'll get him behind and score a goal. The guy is a big problem. So I do kind of sympathize with City a little bit in that regard because as much as Maya's right, Rodri should have been on him a lot more. As much as Ruben Dias should have been a lot more alert to the play. The guy's too damn good. Sometimes quality is just uncontrollable. Sometimes I look at him and it's like the guy is he's just complete for me. So it's very hard to stop him. And that kind of form that he's in right now, and also having the backup striker finally so he can rest. It could be a really long season for everybody that faces Harry Kane.
Yeah, I think it doesn't help the fact that Rodri's quite slow as well. So it's like, even if he's not the fastest, Rodri is really slow. So, you know, that speed element is irrelevant when it comes to Rodri. So that's the problem for us.
So much more talking points about the game. So one Lo Celso's second touch. He scored with his second touch. And then Laporte's goal, which was disallowed due to handball. Was that handball? I thought that might have been a bit too
much.
That
was a handball, man. It's a handball. It's a handball, man.
I think he controlled the ball with his hand. How you can do that in the box and let a goal stand, I don't know.
Fair enough. Let's talk about Tottenham then. So obviously the major talking point of surrounding Spurs is, will they go on to win the league title? Is that something that's on your radar, or are you just taking it game by game?
I feel like I've been asked this question so many times, and I should have a little bit more faith. But realistically, I didn't want to get ahead of myself until we got through this run of games because they are so hard. They are really difficult, and we'd only faced United really as a threat before now. You know, it's great being top of the table, but if you've only played West Brom, Burnley and Brighton, then, you know, can you be considered title contenders? So picking up points at City was what we needed. I personally did think we would pick up points from City through this run of games. I mean, no offence, Yannicka, but I feel like City was one of the more favourable teams that we'd get points from. So after this run of games, I will probably be in a better position to say whether we're worthy of being in talks to be title contenders. But then, you do have to take everything into context, and the fact that this is just a wild season. Obviously, Liverpool have loads of injuries, even though personally I do feel like Liverpool still will win the league. They've really opened it up for other people. Chelsea have spent over £300 million. Coronavirus is crazy, VAR decisions, so there's so much going on that has left this season wide open, I think. I think Tottenham will definitely get top 4. I didn't used to. At the start of the season, I did my top 6 predictions and I had Tottenham 5th, which is probably poor from me. But I just looked at teams like United and thought that they probably had a little bit more than us this season. But after the first, I don't know how many games we've played, but first set of games, I don't think that's the case. And I do think Tottenham will get top 4 minimum. But I don't know. I don't want to get too confident.
What are you saying for City, Yannicka?
Do you know what? I don't know. This season has been a bit. It's been a bit random so far. I think City are nowhere near the level that we can be at. I know, obviously, we've lost David Silva. That's a big miss for us. I think Fernandinho being out is really important, because a lot of people that aren't City fans don't really realise what Fernandinho does. He, for me, is our most important player. Like,
I agree.
Yeah. So we need him. He breaks up a lot of attacks, counter attacks, which a lot of people play counter attack football against us. So we need him. Obviously, he's back now, which is a good sign. But I just think we started the season without a striker, so we have problems going forward. Obviously, Aguero's come back and then got injured again. He's now back again. So it's trying to keep him fit for a run of games where we can get some wins. But I think right now it's not looking good for a title race. But I do think with City, I don't think you can kind of rule us out this early. But I wouldn't rule anyone out right now. I wouldn't say anyone is particularly not in the title race, if you know what I mean. But
Arsenal.
We are.
Sorry,
Is what it is.
We dropped quite a lot of points early on, which obviously is not ideal. The only consolation is that everyone else has lost so far. Not as many as us, but they've lost. So hopefully, if we beat the big 6, we can turn it around a little bit. But it's going to be a long season for us, I think.
Not to just rub salt into the wound, I just realised that you're actually below us. You're 13th and we're 12th.
United as well.
That's disgraceful. I'm sorry, but that is disgraceful. Manchester City, though, Pep Guardiola recently signed, what is it? I think 2-year free extension on his contract. 1, does that excite you? And 2, if not, what's next for City? I don't know. I just don't see Pep being there for much longer, even though, despite him signing this long-term deal.
I'm a big Pep fan, so I always have to back my Pep. I think it's nice to see that, because there was a lot of uncertainty at the beginning of the season. People were like, is Pep going to stay? Is he going to go? So it's nice that he's kind of settled that. Obviously, his first game after that was losing to Spurs, so it didn't look too good. But I think over the season, the players are going to feel more confident that he's there longer term. So yeah, I think what a lot of people have said is Pep's never been through this before. He's never stayed long enough to kind of almost rebuild a little bit. So we'll see how he does. I do rate Pep. I think he gets a lot of stick. Obviously, yes, he spent money, but find me a manager that hasn't. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of managers do spend money, some more than others, obviously. But, I think I would like to see him stay long term, because I think I don't really like this swapping and changing managers. And it'd be nice for him to stay at least 10 years, really. But I don't think he will. I think he will go. But we'll see. It'd be interesting to see if he can rebuild, because he's pretty much lost our whole spine since he's been there. So we'll see what he can do. But I do believe Pep's good enough.
Just one thing. Sorry, just one thing. Today on Twitter, right? Yeah. People are trying to call Pep Guardiola a fraud. This BS started happening again, right? Yeah. And they started to try and compare him and Klopp's sort of work, how much work Klopp had to do and how much he had to do. Yeah. And the fact is, City hadn't won the title for 4 years. well, before he came in. So they won it in 3 years. So they won it in 13, 14.
Years, I
And
think.
he joined 16, 17. And then he won the league the year after, wasn't it? So in 3 years, he hadn't won the league. He had to make a lot of changes. Clichy was getting older. Kolarov. Mangala was, to be honest, there's no even talk about Mangala. You know, there's a lot of players in there that had to go. And you had to replace them. And I've argued that you have to spend money as well. But you have to spend money to improve the team. Otherwise, especially when you're a top team, you know, the fees are going to be bigger. He hasn't spent, Woodward money, but he spent a lot of money regardless. So he's going to have to improve the team. And the same thing as Liverpool. The only difference is they've funded, you know, basically they've done money laundering to sell people like Ryan Brewster and Solanke for 20 and 25 million pounds. That's what they've been doing. So regardless, but it's good business. So no, they've been spending money. And they had to. You have to compete with the teams at the top. It's just about how you spend it. So
that's why for me I don't really like that argument that it's kind of like, oh, he has an open checkbook, he can spend what he wants, because he's not the only person. You know, I think I found out today, I think Pep spent 830 million. Man United has spent 850 since Fergie's left. Do you know what I mean? So even though, yes, he has spent a lot, so have Man United. And, you know, Pep City have done a lot better than Man United. So
that's one manager comparing to what was it? How many years since Fergie's left?
Yeah, but it's, you know, I mean,
7.
I'm just talking about in general, because they're saying, you know, he spent so much money. Yes, he has spent so much money. Do you know what I mean? But he never denies that. No one ever says, oh, we've not spent money. We always say we spent money. Like you say, when you are the top clubs, the transfer fees tend to be higher in general. So a lot of the players that we've wanted, like John Stones, with him being English, he's costing a lot more than he's worth. He wasn't worth what we paid for him. Same with Kyle Walker. But because they're English and you have to have a certain amount of English players, we've had to pay a lot of these big fees. Obviously now, I think as time goes on, our academy is getting better and better. So people like Foden, do you know what I mean? We don't have to buy players in them positions if he can come through. So I think in the future, it will get better. But where City started, we needed success quick. We couldn't afford to kind of bring in a player who's 16 and hope that he gets better. We had to buy the top players at the time. So I think we have spent a lot of money. We have spent it quickly. No one is denying that. My argument is that I don't like the way people make out like Klopp. I've seen comments saying Klopp worked with what he had. The only player that he's got in the squad that he adopted is James Milner. And he's only playing because there's injuries. So he didn't work with what he had. He sold players and bought new players in. I think he spent 450 million, 400 million, something like that. So he's not done it for free. He has done an excellent job. I can't doubt what he's done. He's been brilliant. But I think this illusion that Pep spent a billion and he spent nothing is not quite true. So
I want to ask Maya something before I go back to this question for Jan that's been asked by one of the viewers. Do you miss Pochettino now?
Yeah, I mean, I miss the football that we played. I really do. I'm a very big fan of attacking. The only word I can use to describe it is beautiful football, because the football that Jose Mourinho has teams playing is not beautiful. It's really not, and I'm sure any fan of any team that has been coached by Jose can vouch for that. I do miss Poch. He loved Tottenham like we loved him, but ultimately in the end, it just felt like he ran out a bit of steam. He couldn't get us to. He got us to a Champions League final. That's incredible, but he didn't get us to be Champions League winners, and that's where it really comes down to the fact that Tottenham haven't won a trophy in over 10 years, and we need silverware. So of course I miss Pochettino. He's an incredible manager, and wherever he goes and manages next, I'm sure he'll do an amazing job and have a team playing lovely, expansive football. But I don't miss the fact that we didn't win anything. I mean, we haven't won anything yet still with Jose, but I feel it a lot more than I did when we had Poch, and he's only been here a year. So it's bittersweet.
I miss Poch too, to be honest with you. The feeling of watching them play so much great football.
Yeah.
Just to throw it away in the end. It was beautiful.
Wow.
And I missed that. This looks, I don't know, something looks serious with Mourinho.
Don't worry, we'll see him again soon, at Old Trafford. Yeah, and a quick question for you. Can Pep rebuild?
I think he can, but we haven't seen it yet because he's only done 3-year spells. So we haven't seen it. Do I think he can? Yeah, I think some of the players that he's got in, like Ferran Torres, he did get Leroy Sané, and obviously it didn't work out. He left. But, players that he has got in before, even in the transfer window this summer, everyone was adamant they wanted Koulibaly. I was like, we need someone experienced. We need Koulibaly. And City went after him. And then Ruben Diaz kind of comes out of nowhere. And everyone's like, oh, I don't know about him. And he's turned out to be quite good. So I think Pep is probably capable based off what I've seen so far. But we don't know because he hasn't done it before. So we'll see. When he first got in, like you said before, the squad wasn't as good as people make out. They say it was a City winning team. No, we finished fourth on joint points with Man United, who finished fifth, and we weren't great that season. So the team that Mancini had that was winning, and Pellegrini had, which was Mancini's team, really, there wasn't that much of that left. So he kind of has done it a little bit at City so far. So we'll see. But yeah, he's not proven it yet.
I think we should move on to Manchester United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. Not really much to say about the game. It was, I don't know, one of the season's relegation candidates, West Brom, completely holding their own against Manchester United. It was just one. It was horrible football to watch. I imagine as a fan, it wasn't too pretty to watch either, was it, Coach?
You know what? Everything in my body told me, Michael, don't watch the game. But my stupid fingers did everything I wanted to do, and I put the game on anyway. And I was utterly disgusted by what I saw. There is. I don't mind. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I adore pretty football. Like, I just want you to win. I don't care if you play long balls, but if you score 5, I'm happy. But fam, when you're at home to West Brom, you do not play 2 CDMs. I'm even using CDM, it's a FIFA term. You don't play 2 defensive midfielders. Like, just go with intent. They're going to come back and sit it back against you if you are not going to be... I mean, if you are the dominant side, you've got better players, you're more quality, they're going to sit back against you and try and hit you on counter. So try and dominate. Feel more confident on the ball. And in a week where Pogba's injured and Scott McTominay's finally dropped, Van der Beek still didn't see pitch. Now he's playing against Istanbul, and suddenly we know how to play ball. Like, this is why. No. But who's West Brom? This is my point. Like, play the guy, and you will improve substantially. That's the whole point. Don't lose McTominay and Pogba and then put Matic in. You're not trying to win the game. To be honest, and look what happened again. What do we all know? Penalties. That's all we know at Old Trafford now. It's just penalties and vibes. Apparently, that's what we are good for. So no, it wasn't a good performance. We got 3 points. So I'm happy that we got 3 points. But if I'm being honest, the agenda still doesn't change. It's time for a certain man to leave the club. And you know who I'm talking about. I don't even say his name anymore. I ain't got the respect for him to say his name. No. I say Pogba's name. Someone that used to drive a bus and apparently he was at the wheel. That guy, I don't say his name anymore. I ain't got respect. You know what I mean? So yeah. But it was very bad. Very, very bad.
I mean, there are a few chances here and there. Let's talk about the Martial chance. It was one of those ones where you expect somebody of his caliber to put it into the back of the net. It was just a horrible, horrible shot. Do any of you? Are any of you fans of Martial here, and if you are, what is it about his game that I guess keeps him in the team?
I feel like I've been saying he's got potential for about 5 years. Like, how long can you have potential for? How long? I mean, Martial's a good player. I feel like, I don't know about how United fans feel about him, but when I watch him, I feel like he's a lot more effective when he can come in from the left. I just think he plays a little bit better because I don't think he's a clinical enough finisher and I think that chance proves it. I just think you need to be a certain standard of player to be the number one striker for Manchester United, arguably the biggest club in the world, and I don't think Martial is that. I don't think he ever has reached that. I've seen him in spells where he has a good few games, and yeah, he looks decent, but you have to be doing it consistently, of which he doesn't, unfortunately.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
you're right though. He hasn't this whole potential thing. He's 25 now.
Yeah.
So I mean, and look, it's right there. Everyone's picked up on that comment because it's so right. He's been there 5 years, and he's 25 now. And we don't talk about potential for 25-year-olds. That's just banter at this point. So it's either you step up or you step aside. So yeah, someone saying we need Haaland. Trust me, Haaland is not coming anywhere near us if he has common sense. Trust me.
What else can we say about Manchester United?
Was the penalty a penalty?
Which one, West Brom or ours?
Your one.
I'm gonna say yeah. No, it was one of them ones. I wouldn't be mad if they didn't give it. It's one of those same as West Brom's, but Fernandes did get a touch of the ball first, but at the same time he has brought the guy down. It goes either way. But again, it's one of those I wouldn't have been mad if they gave West Brom a penalty also. So referee in general was just trash, and I could spit bars for another hour about how referee is bad in this country. But I'll take it. I have to take it. That's what we do. So I have to take it, unfortunately. So every penalty is a penalty for me. Even the one at Aston Villa when he stepped on my guy's leg, that's a penalty also. Even though, common sense dictates that it wasn't, but it is what it is.
I guess we'll leave that one there. Let's go to an equally more boring game. Leeds 0, Arsenal 0. I guess boring in the sense there was no goals, but there was much, not really controversy, but Pepe. Let's talk about Nick Pepe.
You talk about him. It's your team.
I don't want to, man. I don't want to. Well, one, it's a weird thing because I was one of the people that was like, play him. You haven't exactly got any great players on the wings, and he's probably the best of the worst. And then boom, he gets his chance, and he wastes it on a stupid headbutt, which wasn't really a headbutt. It was one of those nonsense head collision. I don't know. It was just. I'm tired of talking about this team. Let me ask questions, please. I don't want to talk about this team.
Let it out, bro. Let it out. Therapy session. It's okay.
I let it out last week. I'm tired. This team is dead. This team is dead.
God, you're in pain.
He's in severe pain. I'm telling you right now, I'm always going to bring this up. We have a podcast where he went on it's literally called 40-minute Arsenal rant. He went on a 40-minute rant about everything bad about Arsenal. It's one of the best things I've ever listened to. And it's crazy. For anyone that's listening, if you got Spotify, all you got to do is in the search bar, type in 40-minute Arsenal, and then it's there. Only thing you'll find.
What's annoying about that? That was 3 years ago. So all you need to do is copy and paste.
Nothing's changed. Yep. So what do you want to ask, bro?
So I'm freezing all the time. So my internet connection is really bad. I apologize. But Saka, I guess should he have buried that chance that he had? And another 2 questions. One, should he have buried that chance? And 2, the penalty that Arsenal should have had, was it a penalty? Yes or no?
Who are you asking?
Anybody. I'm tired of Arsenal.
Yannicka?
Oh gosh, do you know what? I've not to this day not watched that game. I've seen some of the highlights. I've seen a few of Leeds' chances that kind of hit the bar or went over the bar just. But yeah, I do like Saka there. That's one thing I can say. Like he looked good when he played against us. Every time I watch Arsenal, he plays well. Obviously he's quite young as well. So yeah, he looks good. As bad as Arsenal might be, he looks good. Obviously he kept a clean sheet, which is not easy to do against Leeds. But apart from that, that's probably the only positives you're gonna get from that game. So
that is about it. Everyone's coming for every time Arsenal get cooked on here. Boy, look at this. That's what I'm doing to the man.
£75 million flop. I have to object. It was 72 million, and it's installments, so it's on million. So don't talk about 72 yet. Thank you very much. I don't know what else to say, to be honest. I mean, Arsenal were playing dire football. Is that a shock to any of you that we were playing so badly, considering that it looks like we were on the up like at the start, at the end of last season?
No. It feels like Arteta was trying to build something defensively solid, didn't it? And he sacrificed a lot going forward. There was a lot more focus on counter, and if you can get in behind, you do your thing, Alba from the left. But if he's focusing on defending so much, you shouldn't have lost 4 games already in the league this season. That's poor. That's stupid poor. You know how poor that is? That's Man United poor. Yeah. So, it's one of the ones where
it's worse, bro. But continue.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know what is next for you guys, because you're not finishing top 4. But then, can you finish Europa League spot just because everyone else is just as inconsistent as each other, or are you finishing 10th? Like, what is next for Arsenal? I don't know. See, Myers doing no smells because Spurs ain't doing them things no more. You know what I mean? Them days of Pascal Chimbonda and David Bentley and all them, man, they're all gone. Them days are gone.
Tottenham sort of in a similar position to Arsenal in the fact that they wanted surety in their defence. Arsenal went out and spent money, whereas Tottenham, Jose looked at Diane, looked at Alderweireld and what he had to work with. Obviously, we did ideally want to buy, but for whatever reason, we didn't. We got Joe Rodon, not a big profile like we wanted, but he saw Dyer and Alderweireld and thought, I want to work with them. We're going to shore up defensively. He's brought Ledley King in. I'm sure having a huge impact defensively for Tottenham, a bit like what Arteta has done. He wants to focus on tightening things up. However, the difference is you man have Lacazette, who can't finish his dinner, let alone a chance, and we have Kane and Son, who are 2 of the best players in the league. So I feel like it's just edged, with Tottenham, because we have the quality up top that, I mean, Aubameyang as well. Pepe, Saka, like Jan said, he looks like a really young, bright spark. But other than that, I don't know. I really don't know.
I feel like you guys need you guys need a more aggressive approach, because your defending is still very lazy, more than anything. If he actually wants to improve them defensively, rather than maybe trying to plug holes or finish spaces, I feel like you need to press your opponents way harder than you usually do. Because the one goal that keeps replaying in my head, and bro, this is episode 144. This is going to be episode 144 where I complain of bad defending once again. That image of Barkley having the ball on the left side and what's his name, Rob Holding, and they're just doing, I don't know, they're doing like 1-2 step cha-cha slide sort of. Like there's no pressing, there's no closing down. He's just standing there watching him. He's not doing anything with the ball. And it's such an easy goal after that. And unfortunately, it leads to Saka scoring an own goal, because he's the only one actually trying to track back and do something to help defend the situation. So, I don't know. Maybe it's more aggressive. Maybe it's just, to be honest, trying to score more goals. To be honest, Lacazette shouldn't be starting as your central striker anymore, because Maya said he can't finish his dinner. Well, he can't even locate his dinner. Can't take it out of the microwave. Like, he's just bad. He's very bad. So, yeah, I don't know what's next for you guys. I actually don't know. I can't give you a bright spark apart from Saka, and that's because he plays good, not because he's doing anything extra.
Where would you like to buy for in January? What position would you ideally like to?
How many minutes have we got on this podcast? It's too many positions. I felt like at the beginning of the season that we covered many bases. I mean, we wanted a defensive-minded midfielder. We got Partey. We wanted a good centre-back. We got Gabriel. We expected Aubameyang to play up front, and he hasn't. But now he got the chance, and he's still not got the service, and he's not putting any away. So I don't know. I don't know, because we keep saying we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that, and then boom, we get them, and nothing changes. So. I don't know. This is how I feel. Like, this is how Arsenal make me feel. I don't want to talk about Arsenal. It's tiring, man. It's soul sapping. It's crazy. It's really crazy, man. But I guess we got to keep moving or trying to move forward. We don't attack, so there's no moving forward in that regard. But
Are you looking forward to the North London derby?
I am not. No, I am definitely not. But as long as it's not a 6-0 thrashing, I'm happy.
Yeah.
How many was it at Old Trafford? Sorry.
You trust me. Don't experience it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You
don't lie. What's your question, bro? What's this? What is this? I swear we've given you 6 and 8 before. You better behave yourself, bro. Okay, cool. Under your GOAT manager. We hear that. All right, interesting.
Let's move on, shall we? Blimey, Arsenal, man. Arsenal. Liverpool 3, Leicester City 0. It seems like despite all these injuries, that Liverpool just keep on going forward. Is it the fact that their backups or their backup players are close or better than many of the players in the Premier League, or is it just down to luck?
The lineup wasn't that bad when I saw it, in my opinion. Milner can fill in that right back, played left back for them before. Robertson's still there. Matip came back fit. Fabinho has played in the defense before for Monaco, so he has experience playing in part of a defensive line. So, and obviously Alisson was fit. Midfield didn't struggle too much. Honestly, it wasn't that bad a squad lineup. The only person that's
bad, but let's get the name. So Alisson, obviously number 1 goalkeeper. Fabinho, yes, you said he has experience playing centre back, experience playing right back, but we all know he's a centre mid. Matip, nobody's pulling up trees to defend him. Milner at right back. Milner is like 30. I don't know how he's old.
33, 34. Yeah.
Robertson, good. Okay, he's their key player. Keita, okay. Wijnaldum, not hindered, but kind of tame under Liverpool. He doesn't really go forward under Liverpool. Is it Curtis Jones?
Yep, good young player. He's a good young player, man. He's good.
Yeah, but he's still young. Firmino got the goal, but I think he's terrible. I think he's a terrible player, terrible striker.
Terrible player.
Jota,
okay.
Purple patch, but he's a good young talent. And then Mane. Should that team be beating a in-form Leicester City? I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you.
Do you know what I think though? I think Liverpool with them, what a lot of people say is it's their system. So it's one of them things when the system is so good and you've got a manager like Klopp, people always think I'm sending for Klopp. I'm not. It's just when I'm defending Pep, he has to get dragged in. But yeah, in general, he's a great manager. And I think they just have that sort of, because they've got the system and they've got that belief that they can do it, I just think they are getting results that maybe they wouldn't get, if that was the case. Some of their players, I think if you take them out of Liverpool, they're probably quite average, but in that system, it works. And it seems to be that whoever comes out at the moment, they're still able to put in a performance and get a result. So that's positive for them, obviously. I think the only problem they might have is if Matip gets injured, because he's not really known for long-term fitness. So if he gets injured, I think they will struggle a little bit more because he seems quite solid at the back for them. So, yeah, I think over the season, it's going to get a bit harder because obviously Van Dijk's out a long time, Gomez out a long time. So it's whether, tiredness is going to kick in when you've got so many games, you're in the Champions League still. So we'll see how they do over the season, but so far, so good for them. I think they're still getting results. Leicester were shocking from what I saw. I've not seen Leicester be that bad for a long time. So I think as good as Liverpool were, Leicester were also terrible. I think it was also quite a clear handball based off the rules. If you're going to give the one against Gabs for Spurs, you've got to also give the one against Liverpool, because actually he moved towards the ball with his hand and it changed the direction. So I think they got a little bit lucky there in the fact that Leicester didn't get that, but Leicester weren't going to win that game. They were terrible.
Maya, anything?
Yeah, I still, as much as informed Leicester can be very scary, I still think thought that Liverpool would win that game. I've said it before, Liverpool are just winners. Like, Klopp has that team, the mentality. Even, like you said, obviously it wasn't a team at full strength. They do have a lot of injuries. But I still think that they had enough. I mean, you say you think Firmino's terrible, but for me, as much as people have been questioning whether he's even going to be getting in the starting lineup now with Jota being so in form, he still isn't a bad replacement to bring off the bench. Like, we've got to put a bit of respect on his name, I think. As well, like you said, Curtis Jones for me looks like a very, very exciting young prospect. James Milner, he could do a job in goal if you put him there. So I think that even though we might have thought that they weren't at full strength, I think that Klopp has a winning mentality through the whole squad, not just the starting 11 that he puts out, and that's why I believe that Liverpool will still win the league this season. So yeah, I mean, but then again, like Jan said, Leicester did not look at it at all. I think that they looked, I mean, no shade thrown on James Maddison, but I think the connect between the middle of the pitch and Jamie Vardy was just invisible. There was no link there. I mean, I think Mendy had a great game, to be honest. I think he was probably standout for Leicester. Looks to be really settling into that role, but it seemed like anything in front of him and between Vardy, that space was just a hole. So yeah, not to take anything away from Liverpool, but Leicester looked shocking.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to add on that. I agree.
You agree? What will it take? I don't know how many games it is now. I think it's in the 60s. What will it take for somebody to finally beat Liverpool at Anfield?
Oh boy.
I'd give it to you. Personally, I think they're so good at Anfield that it will just take one of those crazy 7-2s that Aston Villa did, but at home, I think it is just luck.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who stops them at home.
Honestly,
it's actually jarring.
It's not going to be City. We're terrible at Anfield. That being said, the way the season's going, anything can happen. So maybe, I think the last time we beat them was with Anelka in 2002. We've had the worst start that we've had since 2002. So that's the only positives I can put together. But I think, like, we've been to Anfield. I think the year that Mahrez missed the penalty, not last year, the season before, we were brilliant that whole game, and I thought, we're gonna beat Liverpool. We're outplaying them. We were brilliant, and we still didn't win. So, yeah, I don't know. If anyone beats them, it'd probably be Spurs or someone, because it's not gonna be us.
if anyhow it's us, I can't lie to you. Yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can't be defeated. I might have to just firm it. I might have to just firm him staying in the job, because, like, it's something that he'll do, and it's actually annoying. That's the only thing I can say about it. It's not that United it's not that United are good or they can go and compete and they can, trouble with them. It's when you want the guy to go, he'll go to PSG, he'll go to Chelsea, he'll get a result. Watch this guy go to Anfield and somehow pull something out of the bag. I'm gonna be so annoyed. I shouldn't even be annoyed. I should hate Liverpool for my guts like I do, but he needs to be defeated. He needs to go. It's like a final big boss. Remember Super Mario 64, when you get to Bowser, you have to spin him around. It's like that. You just can't defeat him, man. God.
You guys are all being optimistic, saying it might be City, it might be United, it might be Spurs. I ain't even bothered to say
it can't be you.
It's not going to be us.
It can't be you.
We're so terrible. We're so terrible. No. I don't know what to say. What else? I guess we should wrap it up there. Let's get to. We ain't done this in a while, coach. Let's get to next week's fixtures. I don't know why.
Predictions. Yeah. We should bring all that back. Bring back top bins and everything.
Blimey, these are throwbacks.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
We lost our routine, man. It's all because of lockdown, but we're back. Don't worry.
Let's get the Premier League up. I'm trying to get this app working.
Who are you playing next?
Arsenal?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Why?
I don't care.
Why?
Wolves.
Yeah.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Oh.
You're at home.
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. Don't worry.
It doesn't matter.
Didn't Aston Villa go and give them 3 at home? No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, God.
Hey, I like, man. I like. You don't have to go back to the other result. We're just talking about your team for now, innit? Don't worry.
Coach, innit? Where can I find us? I don't even want to do.
No, we're doing this, man. We're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing this. Get the results up.
Crystal Palace, Newcastle.
I'll go Newcastle 1-0.
Maya?
Palace 2-0.
Yeah, I think Palace have been good this season, so I feel like it might be a draw. Maybe 2-2.
Okay.
Obviously, Newcastle are capable of playing on their day, so yeah, maybe 2-2.
Okay. And the days are few and far. So, Brighton versus Liverpool. Yikes!
Oh, this should be fun. Liverpool 3-1. Jan.
Oh God. Probably like 4-0 Liverpool. Yeah.
Tariq Lamptey, my Ghanaian brother. If you can hear me, yeah, listen, I need the masterclass.
He's not playing. He's not red. Exactly.
Maya, your score. Damn. Oh.
I did a stream earlier today, and I'm pretty sure I predicted the same as you. Liverpool 3-1.
Okay.
Manchester City versus Burnley. If you do not beat Burnley, I will be very mad at you.
Oh yeah, you hate Burnley. I forgot.
Yep. Do you know what? Burnley are one of them teams where we either struggle or we batter them like 5-0. So I think this season we're not scoring. So if we win, it'll be 1-0.
Damn.
If we won that, it'll be close. It'll be close this season because we can't seem to score. I'm hoping that we go a game where we win 3-0 or something and it unlocks us. But I think it'll be close. 1-0, I'd say.
Maya?
Hopefully.
I reckon you'll have learned your lesson from our game, I think. And I think that Sterling will probably come in, I want to say, and he might be able to offer a bit more. So I think he will be able to score more than one. I'm going to go 2-0.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they'll win. But I'm going to go 4. I think Burnley will do a slapping and City will give it to them.
I hope so. Aguero is back, which is good. And Fernandinho's back. That's why I'm less worried defensively. It's just can't seem to put the ball in the net. But saying that, with Fernandinho, it gives De Bruyne a little bit more space because he's, Fernandinho is more controlled in the midfield. So.
And as we know on the Premier podcast,
it wouldn't even surprise me.
Someone saying Burnley 1-0, man like Manny. Okay.
Everton versus Leeds is probably the best game. Oh no, take it back. Sorry, Everton versus Leeds, not the best game. One of the best games.
Everton versus Leeds.
Be a good game.
It would. Open game, end to end. You know what? I'm gonna go Everton 3-2. Matt?
Yeah, that's really weird actually, because I'm pretty sure I did a stream earlier today and I went with Everton 3-2, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, also 3-2. Yannicka?
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think Everton are very clinical at the moment, so I can see them getting 3 with Leeds, the way Leeds play end to end. I think maybe 3-1 even Everton. If Leeds play how they play against Arsenal and they're not clinical. But yeah, 3-1, 3-2.
Okay, Laura agrees with us, 3-2 as well. So big scoring game.
From one of the most exciting ties of the weekend to one of the most boring, West Brom, Sheffield United.
God.
That's
you couldn't pay me for that.
No, that is 0-0. That I don't. You know what? Should we even really
move on?
Yeah. Let's go.
Southampton versus Manchester United.
Good game again.
Southampton.
Yeah, Southampton at home.
All right, so next Tuesday, let me schedule myself for a ripping of Ole. This is going to be Southampton 2-1. Any of you want to guess how much Man United are losing? Or
I think
it'll be 2.
Sorry, 2-0 Southampton. I think I predicted earlier. I think 2-0 Southampton. Definitely Southampton anyway.
See, we're not even scoring. There you go.
I was going to say 2-1 either way, but probably the way United are playing. If they play how they have been playing, Southampton will beat you. But
how they're playing right now, and you start these man instead of McTominay.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if you play like this, then you win that game. But
it ain't happening. You know exactly what's going to happen. You know exactly what's going to happen. It ain't happening. Damn.
And now to probably the best tie of the match day: Chelsea versus Tottenham.
Ooh.
Tough game for Spurs.
Yeah, you know, Spurs
want to be title contenders.
Spurs lost to them home and away last season. But they've both started very well as well, to be fair. You know what? I think this is a game that Spurs will draw. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-2.
Yeah, I'll take a draw as well. I think 1-1, just because of how defensive that I think Mourinho plays. It's either going to be a draw or a Chelsea win, I think. I hate to be so negative, but yeah, I strongly believe that it'll be either or.
Yeah,
it's with being Jose, because I know some Chelsea fans were saying that when Jose wants, to pull out a masterclass, he can. So I think defensively it'll be quite tight, I think, for both teams. But I do think both teams will score, whether that's from a set piece, I don't know. I kind of, in my head, I'm thinking 2-2, because they're both clinical and they're both defending quite well. So, yeah, I think 2-2.
2-2. Right. Here's hoping for a Chelsea 5-0. But anyway, Arsenal.
Wow. He's sending like that.
We had the Veerad out. So, yeah.
So what, was that Davinson Sanchez?
Well, I think he's going to go with Rodon, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, we've got Europa in the week, so I think we'll know by who he plays in the Europa League who's going to be playing at the weekend. But yeah,
you're such a pessimistic Tottenham fan. I like it.
Do you know what? I'm usually I do genuinely think that Tottenham can get a result because of Jose Mourinho. Like, he's a winner. But there's just something about Chelsea, like you said, we couldn't get a result against them last year. They're in good form. Oh, I don't know.
Fair enough. I want to skip this one. Arsenal Wolves.
No, we're staying here. We are staying here.
No,
go on.
Arsenal Wolves.
Arsenal Wolves.
You want me to predict it?
Yeah, go on, bro.
It's gonna be 3-4-0 Wolves, I imagine.
I know you mean it as well.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go to the better side of North London. Maya, what do you think?
Whoa, no. Let's not do that, please. No.
I think that I think it'll be 1-0 to Wolves. I don't think Wolves have particularly looked that clinical. Jimenez hasn't really been putting loads of chances away recently. So I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I do think Wolves will win.
Okay.
You see how Leeds played against Arsenal?
Yeah.
That's how Wolves are going to play, but they're going to be clinical because it's just going to happen. So, yeah.
Damn.
Anyway, Yannicka.
Yeah, I don't think it will be a big scoreline, to be honest. I don't know if Arsenal will get a goal because you didn't get a goal last game. So it could be 1-1 or 2-1 to Wolves. But yeah, I don't think it will be high scoring.
I'm going 2-0 Wolves.
Okay, Monday, Leicester City, Fulham. Yikes for Fulham.
Yeah. Leicester are not particularly a club that'll do backlash, but they're gonna slap them, I think. So I'm gonna go. Leicester will concede. I'll go 4-1 Leicester. Yannicka?
Ooh, 3-1, I'd say.
Yeah. Maya?
Leicester.
3-0.
What was that? Sorry.
3-0 to Leicester.
3-0. 3-0. Okay.
And for a claret and blue derby, West Ham versus Aston Villa. That might be a decent game, to be honest with you.
I think that will, yeah.
Yeah.
That should be a good game. You know what? I'm gonna back our boys from around the corner, the man them that blow bubbles. So I'm gonna go West Ham 2-1. Yeah, I'll go 2-1. Maya?
I'll back my boys from around the corner, and I'll say Villa. I'll go Villa 2-1.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
You're from Birmingham?
I'm from Coventry, so Villa Stadium's about 25 minutes away.
Why? Okay, all right, never mind.
What, she support Coventry City?
We'll talk about after. What's happening, Yannicka?
Yeah, I think 2-1 to Villa. I think Villa have started really well. West Ham, kind of unpredictable. So yeah, I think 2-1 Villa.
Okay, let's wrap it up there. Coach, no, sorry, Maya, where can they find you?
So it's at Maya Graham on everything. Use Twitter the most. Doing lots of podcasts and YouTube live streams at the minute. And I also do my own show on the Football Terrace. It's at 7:00 on Fridays. I'll also have Jan on as a guest this week. So yeah, catch me there.
Jan, where can they find you?
My Twitter's below at Yannicka with 3 A's. I'm also on YouTube, Yan City ENT.
Coach, where can they find us?
You can find us on here at YouTube. Also, that's 3InMidfield podcast, obviously. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Apple, whatever it's called, SoundCloud, and of course Twitter, 3InMidfield.
This has been another episode of the 3InMidfield podcast. Good night.